Hi guys, it's Charlotte. I'm going to show you how I basically wash my makeup brushes. See all of them? Wash all my makeup brushes, and basically I'm going to show you what I do. Let me just set my makeup brushes down. Oh dear. Right, first thing that I do is I get some washing up liquid. You can use any sort of washing up liquid. So use some washing up liquid. So I use about that much washing up liquid. I don't use a lot because I do certain things. And you use oil. You just pour in the oil. I use vegetable oil because vegetable oil is so much better. So I get a vegetable oil, which I use about that much. Just bear with me. I don't use a lot, I just use about 2 teaspoons. Then I use some of this. Now basically this is with conditioner. So basically I put some on the side. Right. I didn't use that much conditioner because basically it's a soap conditioner. Because first of all, I know I need to wash my stuff with antibacterial action. So what I'm going to do is use a brush that I've constantly been using brushes. And what you're going to do is, this is going to be a bit loud, sorry. Put your tap on and basically make it sure that it's warm. Now I have a tap like this so the warm mixture will come out. Never use hot, because if you use hot it basically won't do any good. You just use medium. Just use medium. So let me just turn it on because I need to make sure it gets really hot first. And then I can turn it down to warm. Here we go. So I do, just let it go warm. And then once it goes hot I can switch it then. Right. What I do is I just play around with it. Everything, just play around. And once I feel like it's getting somewhere, there we go. I use a bit of cold. So this is a perfect temperature. But it's warm. What you do, you never go up that, you always go down. So basically, wet your brush, always go down. And the reason you don't flip it upside down and you don't get it too much is because basically it will release the glue. So what I do is I put in the washing up liquid first and put it in. And then once I've done that, I put in with basically the oil. So mix them two up. Doesn't really matter how well you mix them up. I'm going to use a little bit more washing up liquid just to basically get it some going. I always use them because basically washing up liquid will basically get everything. So what I'm going to do is just put my hand and go back and forth. See all of it coming off. And just go back and forth motions. Sometimes it's a little bit easier doing back and forth motions. But I do that. And then basically what I do, get the conditioner and basically back and forth motions. I sometimes do it on here to basically mix the chemicals up in my first brush. But yes, use back and forth motions and everything. And basically rinse off your hand. I rinse off my hand. Basically what I do is I rinse off my hand and then basically I go back in and mix it all together. Basically I just do this. And you see it coming off? That is basically the ingredients and that is my hand. I'll show you this. It looks disgusting. It's all my makeup. But what I do is I tend to wash it off and then start again. So basically what I do is just keep going with this. Just keep going. Then once that is going to do, I do it again. I put 2 pumps of this. I usually use it in pumps, but I don't know why. I think it's better in pumps, and the way that it's being used, it's basically really good to use it. Basically just rinse out your brush. And when the water starts to turn clear, you know then basically it will basically be clean. So make sure you get everything. Just do that. And make it do this. Or I always go back into my washing liquid with that. Just because basically once it's like that, which is totally clear in your hand, you can't see nothing at all. Then basically what you do is just rinse out your brush. Rinse it out thoroughly. And rinse out. Always rinse your thing out thoroughly, so go back and forth on your hand. Make sure it's all rinsed out. So that's rinsed out. So what you do is I put it upside down. So I'm going to show you again. So I put the brush upside down just because. So what you do is wet your brush. Just wet your brush. Go in. Mix it all up. There we go. Mix it all up. Just start mixing it all up. Doesn't really matter to me. Just start mixing it all up. And then basically once it's been mixed up, take your hand and basically just, you can either do that or brush it side to side. I do a bit of both because basically I do a bit of both just because it's a lot easier. And then I get the conditioner again and put it on. The reason why I put conditioner onto a brush is to make the bristles extra soft, and your brush will basically look like new if you put conditioner on it, so you can't see it. Put conditioner on it. Okay, so just keep going. I don't have a lot of product on this brush because basically I use it just for powder. But I always wash my makeup brushes. This is the first time because basically I haven't done it for that long. So basically what you need to do is wring out your brush. There we go. Put it back into the fish. Into the mission. Make sure you wring out both brushes, just because basically it's just going to be so much nicer. Then I take my contour brush and do the same again. Just basically mix it up in with the oil and everything else. And then basically what I do is I go back and forth motions and whirl around. After this, your hand is going to get so clean. I use this one for bronzing mostly. I use the bronzing because basically when I contour, I use it for contour and for bronzing. So basically I just do that. And basically what I do is just go back in and then get the conditioner part, which I should have some. I'll put a bit more on because when you all mix it together, the conditioner isn't as good if it's all mixed in together. So just get the conditioner, and you see that dripping off. It's not dirty whatsoever. So basically this, and basically rub it around your hands. I do this because basically it's so much better to rub in your hand, and always point it down when you're doing it. Sometimes the brush can get a little bit foamy. What you need to do is just do the same. Basically just rinse it under, and then basically once your brush isn't going to do the other thing, I always put it like that just to get everything off. So once it's dry, rinse it again. See that? Basically I've used the same to that as well, just in case I didn't get anything off. And so you stand up. I always stand up my brushes because basically it's the best way to clean them. And do the same to this. Get a little bit more product on there because this one is going to be a little bit trickier. But if you can't see oil, what I suggest you do is rinse your plate out. Rinse it out. Do that. Keep rinsing so nothing drips. While you're on that, do the other. I tend to buy, people use olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, but you don't do that to the brushes. Vegetable oil is so much better than extra virgin olive oil. It's so much better because basically you're not cooking, and vegetable oil is great to basically. I done a tutorial. My friend did a tutorial. She showed me how she cleaned it, and she cleaned it in a way that it made her brushes so soft. Basically, it's anything, but she used different oil. She used sunflower, and I used vegetable oil. It's basically vegetable oil. It's so much better. It's made of vegetable. The vegetable oil I've got is organic, so it's made of pure vegetable oil, pure vegetables. And just basically do this, and then basically what she uses conditioner, and then basically what you do is just go around. Just keep going until there are no bubbles in there. No bubbles. Once there's no bubbles, you'll be fine. And then rinse out, and basically it'll go to the shape again, and pop it on there. If brushes I tend to look a little bit like this, push them out. It's okay if you push them out into a towel, and then do that. Small brushes are a little bit more easier to follow, just because small brushes don't actually have a lot on them. So basically you can put it into dry. I prefer to put it into wet just because it's a little bit more easier to do. So, sorry if this video is very long. It will be a long video because I'm showing you how I do it. I don't have, on my camera phone, I can't pause it and then basically go back on it. So I have this brush, which basically I've used before. and it was really soft when I've done it, and it didn't change. So basically what I do is just go in. You have to rinse this one. Go in like that, and basically do it on your hand again. Now, all that was sharp in this one is pink. Pink, that's all that's sharp, because I use it for blush. This is a face powder brush, and I use it for brush. You're not supposed to clean bare mineral brushes, because the fibres in the brush are just so delicate. If you brush it, if you wet it, even with warm water, if you brush it, even if you do it, it's not going to help the brushes, because basically with synthetic hair, with this type of brush, it's used by a hair that's not really good to use by brushes. I don't know what they call it, but it's a brush that they don't use for it. Rinse it out. And basically, if you don't want to, just go. I always rinse it out and then I pop it back into a position. So basically, yeah, sorry if this video is really long. It's going to be a long video. Some of my brushes aren't too bad, because basically what I've done is I've dried it. I've cleaned it before. That's that done. These brushes aren't going to take that long now, because basically when they're my eye brushes are a little bit thinner, which I don't use that much. I don't use eye brushes that much. And basically rinse it out. But the eye brushes I do use are very particular. They basically help me do my eyes, which I hate, absolutely hate something if it's not done properly. With me, I have to basically make sure my eyes and my brushes are so soft when I use them. I don't like the hard stuff that you use, going, oh look at this, I wash my brushes, but they turn out really hard. So if you can't see my face like that, I'm trying and show you. If you can't see my hand, I'm sorry about this as well. So basically, rinse it. Then my last brush, just do this. With my last brush, I always mix it all together and dry it off the plate. Just because I know that this brush is close to done. And just do this. Sorry if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. I'm trying to show you what down here is a bit weird. So, that is all of them. So I'm going to show you what my brushes smell really nice. So here we go. That is my face brush, and you can see there's nothing, no residual in there, nothing. Basically, I have it on a towel, which I'll show you in my next part when it's time to show you what the brushes look like when they're done. So I'm going to show you what my brushes now look like when they're all standing up. I mean, some of them are standing up, but some of them are slouching. Okay, they are all my, they're all my makeup brushes. They're all of them on this. It's a microfiber towel. Make sure you get a microfiber towel. Do not use a tissue, for God's sake. Don't use a kitchen towel or tissue to do your makeup. To clean your makeup brushes, sorry. It's not good for the brushes if you use, basically, tissue. Microfiber towels are so soft, and basically they will clog they're designed to bring moisture in, to get the moisture in, to bring it in. So yeah guys, if you like this, do a thumbs up. I'm doing makeup things and other things and hair things just until I get time to Weight Watchers. I'll still be doing more of these, and I do more about my tongue piercing as well. I'm going to do a 1 year update on my tongue piercing, and I will basically see you later. Bye guys.